So it's the last day of the boat show. It stopped raining, it's sunny, but a little bit windy. And I'm doing all the talking because Steve has lost his voice.
Yeah, I've got very croaky. That's what happens on the last day. Yeah, lots of talking all the way through, but it's been really good fun. We've got some good stuff, found some nice things here, and spent some money as you always do.
As you always do, and met lots of people. It's been brilliant. I love it. Really good break. Welcome to Chesapeake Harbour Marina.
We're at Annapolis for the boat show and it's fantastic.
I did not expect the weather to be quite this good, so we bought jeans and thank goodness we have our t-shirts. There's been so much coming and going.
There'll be rain, there always is in Annapolis, but it's lovely. It's a really good vibe here, loads of boats, loads of things to see, loads of other YouTubers, lots of parties, so it's going to be fun.
I hope you like the film. Coming up, we bring you the best products at the Annapolis Boat Show. We highlight just one boat, obviously the best one. And the best party, Inner Chandler's with beer. What's not to like? Welcome to the 53rd Annapolis Boat Show, an American boating tradition with the now ubiquitous YouTube presence. Yes, look down on the boardwalk and you can't miss the signs to the YouTube tent. This is setup day, floats being secured, stands being built, and the arrival of the HH66, docking in style. One of the HH44 models, which the winds are now sailing, was due to be the star of the show, but unfortunately the boat didn't make it. So the HH66 it is. Sleek, stylish, much like most of the other boats here. Get ready for 4 days of boat heaven. So we could have bought the dinghy today because it is setup day, which means there's not so many people around. But they are bringing boats in and out, so the excitement is still there.
A lot of setting up to do. Everyone's busy. And Heidi and Franny are here as well. We're staying with them on their boat, which is lovely.
Hello.
We got to figure that out.
But yeah, it's all go.
It is, and we're going to have a look at some of the boats, but it's going to be mostly stuff. I want to look at stuff.
You look at stuff this year?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Let's find some stuff. Nice boats though.
Our first stop is the Hydrovane stand. We would love one of these on board Fair Isle.
This is an auxiliary rudder unit. So the beauty of an auxiliary rudder is that it's not tied into your main steering. We don't care what kind of steering you have, the amount of friction you have in your steering system, because it's its own vane driving its own rudder. And so essentially what you do is you've got the vane, right? So this is an endless loop that runs forward. So we run this up to the cockpit or somewhere near the helm. That gets the leading edge into the wind. With any wind vane, you're always steering a wind-based course, right? So for a lot of people, it's conceptually, you have to sort of wrap your head around that because we're so used to autopilots where you press the button, you're steering a magnetic compass course, and away you go. With this, you're steering it to a wind-based course. So if we're on a beam reach, there's our beam reach right here, right? We're on the wheel, we're getting the boat trimmed out and balanced. That's imperative for any wind vane. And then come back here, engage it, and away you go. So what happens is as the boat falls off course, the vane goes over, which knocks the rudder and keeps the boat on course.
The structure itself of this, because it has gone through that history, and any weak points, we know over time will be found. Do you think you've got the ultimate here now?
We're always refining the unit. We're always fine-tuning things to make things. I would say one of the big things was our rudder development. So we came out with a bigger rudder to cater to bigger boats.
Let's have a look at this rudder.
Yeah, so it's 43 inches deep. It's a cast nylon. And the rudder is actually quite an amazing thing, because if you look at this rudder and the efficiency of it compared to like a classic barn door style rudder, it's way more efficient. And a lot of people will look at it and say, well, how can this rudder
do the job of the barn door that I've got in the back?
Your rudder's probably over 6 feet tall and very wide.
It's enormous, yeah.
But the big thing is that it's a couple things actually. One is that it's your main rudder is still doing a lot for the Hydrovane rudder because it's acting as a trim tab, as we talked about. But the other part of it is that because it's in a levered position further aft on the boat, it's got a huge lever arm. So you don't need a lot of surface area to keep a boat tracking well.
Yeah.
Something to look at ahead of our Atlantic crossing. Almost like having a third hand on deck. The next innovation that catches our eye is this tankless dive system. Interesting.
He's got our Nomad system on, the 30-foot model, and then we have our brand new system, the Nomad Mini. So this is the top of the revolutionary side, if you will. This one is going to be allowing you to dive to 15 feet, but the option here is going to give you that dive boost kit, which allows you to add multiple batteries and dive longer. So that's kind of the big draw between this system.
So this floats on top of the water.
It does. It's entirely self-contained.
Exactly, and you can go down. So it's useful for, well, he looks like he's looking for fish, but obviously you can do work on your boats, all those kinds of things, yeah.
It's a toy and a tool, so you can go underneath the bottom, you can scrape, you can check your zincs, you know, clear a prop or even clean your keel, whatever you might need to do down there, but then you can also use it for fun. You can dive, you can spearfish, whatever it might be.
Okay, and how easy is it to get going?
Pretty simple. So the only thing that you really need to do the moment it comes out of its backpack that it's stored in, you're going to remove the intake plug and put in your snorkel tube here, which is your flag where it draws in its air. Next thing is you're going to plug that battery in. Again, it only takes about 20 seconds. You just slide it right in its compartment and spin that little connector piece on. Once that's connected, you're good to go. It's going to make its startup tones. And lastly, you're just going to turn it on the regulator here. Next thing, the system's already on, it's ready to go. You're just going to take that breath. The moment you take your breath, the compressor is going to pump and give you air.
And how long does it last?
So the battery lasts anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes on this system. Obviously, the idea here is that you're able to stack them so you can dive a couple of hours depending on how many batteries you have installed.
Oh, wow. A very neat system and easy to use. Definitely something we are looking at taking back with us. And talking of easy to use, how cool is this? Incredibly light blow-up fenders.
A few seconds.
Ready to go.
Yes. And then to deflate it, you just push the valve and then roll it.
Fold it up.
Yeah, and store it. These are washable, so you can wash them in the washing machine.
The fenders are UV protected and easy to store. Great for long passages. As well as all the high-priced technical gear, you can also spend, if you want to, a lot of money on shoes, which is why I was pretty pleased, I'll bring you around here, to find this new shoe. Hadn't seen those before. Quite a good price. And they float, so they're a good shoe to have on board, especially if you're intending to take the dinghy to shore at any time and get out into the water. Well, I'm looking at the low price end of the show. Steve is sticking to high tech and advice on props.
I mean, and the reason I like this is that, I mean, with a big heavy boat like ours, and the fact that she doesn't steer going astern because she's full keeled, you use the sort of back and fill technique to do it, and you need to be able to stop the boat quickly. And this, you know, because it flips around and you get a good grip on the water, it seems to just stop us really nicely.
Yeah. So when you go from the forward position, the leading edge of the blade, when the prop is reversed into reverse, you have that same leading edge, that same angle of attack on the water, and so you have the same efficiency in reverse as you do in forward.
Yeah, so, and that's really important for a boat like ours. Yeah, people don't think about that.
And in fact, a lot of people have come up to me in the last couple of days, and the first thing out of their mouth when they say, "Oh, I have one of your props," and they say, "I love how it goes in reverse. You know, it just stops the boat when I put it in the gear."
They're great.
So.
We have one. I'm going to buy another one today.
Good.
We need a new prop.
All right.
It stops the boat. It's like hitting the brakes.
Yeah. That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Our boat's now 23 years old. I imagine it's been on there from new.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the normal maintenance regime for something like this? Obviously, make sure you replace the zincs. Grease it?
Keep it well greased, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, anything that's mechanical that relies on grease to prevent wear and to operate smoothly, we use a calcium-based grease.
Yeah, well, it's this stuff, which I can
Correct.
tell you is quite difficult to get in Europe sometimes. That's why I bought 2 from you here.
Very good. I'm glad we were able to supply that.
Yeah, no, that's great.
But yes, there are, on this prop version, there are 3 grease ports.
Yeah.
So you remove the plug screw and install the Zerk tower fitting.
Yeah.
Give it a couple of squirts, and then it's important to work the prop back and forth to
mine
distribute.
always seems good. I noticed one of your customers here earlier was saying it's not sort of coming out. Ours always does. You work it through, it comes out of here, even comes out of the joints a little bit. You get tiny bits. Really, you know, you can pack it in there.
Yeah.
But the thing with me is, I don't really know, is that when you're looking for wear on the blades, when I first haul out, obviously, you know, the grease is a bit looser in there. There's not as much of it. You sort of look at the play in the blades, but then once you've filled it with grease, there's less. What are you looking for and when to know when there's too much wear and you should do something?
You might want to consider reconditioning or that kind of thing. So put the blade into its forward position.
Yep.
And hold another blade, and then grab the tip and work it back and forth.
Yeah.
And then side to side, and then try and rotate the blade as well.
Yeah.
Once you get more than about 1/8 of an inch of play in there, you're starting to get some movement between the gears. And so when you do shift and you get a little momentum, and it starts to prise that open. So up until that eighth of an inch, it's not a concern.
Okay.
And you need to check each blade because you might, you know, hit
one more than another. Yes, it might have had a knock or something.
You might have hit something. You might have tweaked that blade a little bit.
I didn't know that.
So check each blade for those same 3 motions, fore and aft, side to side, and then try and rotate it.
So if you've got more than 1/8 of an inch, what's the procedure? What do you do if it's just slightly more than that?
We do all the reconditioning in our machine shop in Linwood, Washington. And it's a pretty simple, painless process. Go to our website, under support, there's a thing for a maintenance form, fill it out, and then our machinist, Jerome Blakely, gives you a call, and then he talks through, you know, what you're experiencing, talks about the age of your prop. If it's a prop that's ever been serviced before, we have a record of it. If we sold you the prop, which is a high probability, every prop has a serial number stamped on the hub. You give him that serial number, and he'll be the person who commissioned that prop, and he can tell you anything about it.
Walking through the boat show, I am amazed at how many big boats there are. Houses on the water with every conceivable comfort. Nearly all these models come with million-dollar price tags, and the established brands are as popular as ever. We're not here to buy a boat, but there is one we would like to see. The first blue water yacht, based on the hull of the Hylas that Kyle from Blue Water showed us around last year. The new boat has been modified, customised and improved, and it's just beautiful.
This is the first actual blue water we've been on, because we've been on the earlier derivative. It's the Hylas. So immediately you can see, you know, things like, I mean, Carl has told us about this, putting the rails just a little bit further outboard, just giving you much more room.
It just makes this one little area so much easier to access.
Yeah, it is lovely. Really, really nicely done. And you've got, you know, you can have the rails all the way forward as well if you want to, can't you, with these? But this, you know, it's properly high, isn't it? That's, you know, things like that, where a lot of modern boats just don't have.
Well, the really nice thing I like about the boat is you don't have to come forward to that gate for anything. Unless you're going to put the spinnaker up. But other than that, there's no reason. You can furl everything from the cockpit. It just makes everything simple.
And she's a cutter rig, which is the only way to go.
I knew you'd appreciate that. You're a man after my own heart.
Yeah, look, it's great, isn't it? Oh, this is good.
And that locker goes all the way under.
Yeah, oh, okay.
It's huge.
So you can put,
that's our spinnaker, which is a monster spinnaker.
Yeah. Lovely. Yeah, it's nice having these compartments. We've got one big area and it all gets tangled up. So yeah, that's really nice. Looks
we have
beautiful.
The synthetic teak, which is nice.
Yeah.
Again, the tow rail is the main structural thing that you'll notice, aside from the Dodger and the Bimini, which are optional. You don't have to go with the hard Dodger or the hard Bimini. I actually redesigned the Dodger and designed the Bimini with the yard to make it a little more user-friendly. You know, the Bimini was a big point of contention because you don't want it to look like this big square thing on top of the boat. So I was really adamant to make it as thin as possible.
It is very streamlined, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just streamlined, thin. You don't really even notice it's there when the boom is there. And then with the Dodger, you know, I'm the average height of most guys, and the other one was just so low, I couldn't see over it, and I had to really crouch down to see under it. So we raised it up about 6 inches, made it a little wider, took the wings, there were wings on it, because you always hit your head on them. So we took the wings off, and...
But it's good because as you're walking down that side deck, you've got something solid to hang on to. You've got a really good rail on there.
So it came out really, really well. And even though it's a hard Dodger, with those 2 little hatches on the top of it, it allows so much air to actually flow into the cockpit area. You'd be surprised.
This is a nice addition. I like this. Having just something to keep his spare halyards on here. It's quite. I mean, just little details like that.
Whacking on the mast,
proper dorades. Yeah, a lot of boats are missing now. Well, she's lovely.
Thank you.
Have a really good time. I mean, I hope that we can meet up with you at some point and have a sail on this, because that'd be great. Really beautiful.
So you had a quick look in here. Then you've got the extra bunk here, which is good. That's a nice size, actually.
And that slides all the way out to make a queen.
Really? Okay, so it's a good double or a queen,
that cushion against the wall there, this slides out and it fits in here.
Okay.
So you're the full length of that.
And you've got the work.
There's a stainless workbench underneath. All storage.
This is such a handy extra room. Such a good idea.
Yes.
And is this the main?
This is not. This is the VIP cabin.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to walk around
Oh
queen.
wow. So you'd have guests and everything. That's so new. Yeah, that would be good. This is a nice one.
And then all the lockers are all cedar lined. So if you take a peek at that
I'll
one.
just take this. Well, oh yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's really nice. You're right. It's the quality of the carpentry is lovely, isn't it?
It is.
Look at that.
So how long did it take to build this one then?
2 years.
2 years. It's been a long time in the making, hasn't it?
Okay.
Good.
Building. I've never built a new home or anything like that, so it's an exercise in patience, perseverance. You know, of just the ups and downs of getting excited about it, and then it's still taking so long. And you know, anything with a boat, if you think it's going to take a day, it takes 3.
Yeah, it does.
So if you think it's going to take a year, it's going to take at least 2.
Yeah.
And then again, COVID didn't help with getting products shipped in and that kind of stuff. But
you're right about the patience. I think patience.
Yeah, you have to realize that thousands of hands go into building this, and hundreds of companies, and to have this kind of quality at the end of all that.
Oh, and the fold-out table.
Yeah.
That's such a good idea. We have got to get clever with our table. But yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, we reduced the size of our table because you want it to have space.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Lounge around in here, and not always sort of sit down to eat. So.
And what's nice is too is it drops down to a bed, so it actually sleeps 9.
So that drops down to a bed as well.
Yeah, so you have a double berth there.
This actually pulls out wider.
This pulls out.
Right. Okay.
Pulls out about 6-7 inches wider. And then, of course, every owner does the length of that seating depending on what they want to their cabin.
You get a nice view.
See the difference in, like in the cabin top here, where the Hilux was all squared off with trim, and this is all mitered in and rounded.
You're totally right, very rounded. Yeah. Absolutely everywhere. And this is massive. Yeah. And
this is a king. It's like a queen sheet is too small, and a king sheet is just a little big. So, but the king sheets fit much better than the queen. So.
Yeah, and then a very nice second head here.
Yeah, and the washer dryers in that shower.
Everyone knows me so well.
You know, I've been married a long time.
So there we are, washer dryer here.
Small, full-size shop vac.
Yeah, that's a good place to have it, isn't it? It is. There we go. And the nice floors as well. It's just a lovely touch, isn't it, to have these floors?
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
And they're all hand laid.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Very nice. So where are you going to take her?
I don't know yet. We had a 5-year plan. Of course, Kyle turned it into a 2-year plan.
Yeah.
But so for now, we're just gonna, enjoy it on the weekends, and when things free up for our lives. we just married off our youngest son, so
Okay.
all 3 of our kids are married now, and we're getting to that point where we can almost see the next chapter. And then, well, who knows where we're going to go.
Oh, we'll meet you on our way up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have a slip in South Carolina you're more than welcome to use if
Hey.
you're coming up or through. And we also have a mooring on Block Island, which you're more than welcome to use.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much.
So if you're going up the East Coast. And this is all the same engine access that you've seen. Oh, Judy, you'll appreciate this.
Oh, sorry?
You'll appreciate this. Dishwasher.
Oh. Now, this is just...
That's a step beyond.
It is. It's a step beyond me. I need my time with my headphones doing the dishes. No, I'm just kidding. That would be great. It's a pleasure to see this boat and meet such a happy new owner. Before we head over to the YouTube tent to talk about videos. Our videos and everyone else's videos as the afternoon extends to the Cruisers Awards.
Welcome to the 2nd Annual International Cruisers Awards.
It is an honour to be your host this year, and our sincere apologies for being much less attractive than your host last year.
We are nominated in the short video category. But when it comes to the vote, the winner is the cat. But the best is yet to come. An evening at Bacon Sales, a massive chandlery which has thrown its doors open to all the YouTube channels visiting Annapolis. Good food, good company, and the prize for the best dressed goes to Precision Sales. They walk around and talk to people rather than have a stand at the show.
Should I flex?
Genius. And yes, this is a real chandlery where you can buy things. So the next day we are back. What are the prices like, Steve?
Very good. Very good. I mean, about a third of the price of where we are at the moment in Portugal, so might as well get as many bits as possible.
Okay.
And then, I mean, they're just meant for holding ropes, but I can just make up a little bit that splice a loop in it, and put it round and put it back on.
Did he show you the fender holders that are designed for a stanchion?
No.
Let me show you those real quick. They're made by the same company.
Okay.
I want to see what you're talking about as well.
It's a fender adjuster, and it's designed for both a horizontal, but particularly in this one, a vertical pipe.
For people that are very lazy and can't tie knots.
Yeah, exactly. But it makes it very easy to adjust.
Yeah,
and if you took these off, perhaps you could find a different thing that would allow you to...
actually, with that, I could have something permanently around the boat hook, but then you'd actually have to sort of thread it through there. It's probably easy with what I've got, I think, to use the things. Yeah, but that's a good idea.
United Yachting. These are very nice.
Yeah.
Just as well we spend the morning shopping because we do get that expected rain at the show. Luckily, there's always a place to take cover and learn about another handy gadget.
If you want to get a cocktail tray, people put the glass close to your dominant hand so that it's convenient. But the problem is it's very heavy
and
on this.
And if the boat moves?
Yeah.
Forget it.
So what we do is we put the glass behind the hand, so the weight is behind the hand, leaving space and weight for your food. You don't have to reach over the glass to get at your food. Food's right there. You can reach over or under to get the glass out. The glass will not come out unless you want it to.
And the plates are pretty too, made from a variety of hard woods. And when the rain clears up, we indulge in our new passion, electric bikes. This is the deluxe model.
So you have a throttle here.
Yep.
Back brake here, front brake. I have it on the lowest setting.
Okay.
So feel free, if you want to pedal, it is going to do pedal assist options a little bit. You have a horn, front headlight.
Okay.
And then what I recommend, just when you're getting used to it, start off with the throttle and then start pedaling as you please.
Okay.
All right.
So it's got a throttle.
And then if you wanted to go faster, you can hit the plus button.
Okay.
Somebody went over.
bike. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. That's a smile on her face.
It's amazing. That shooting forward though, when you go and you start pedaling and it sort of really begins to take off.
You can cut that off too.
Oh yeah, really? Okay.
Yep. So that has no pedal assist. This is just a normal bike.
Okay.
Now it's on.
I love pedal assist. I think
Isn't it
it's
awesome?
great. It's just getting used to it.
Getting used to it is a little different. Just anywhere you go, we want the bikes to be able to handle the terrain. So with the fat tire, you can do off-road. I actually ride mine more on the road, but for any reason you wanted to ride on the beach and stuff like that, you can as well.
Okay. And the beach?
Nice. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well that's fantastic. Wow, here we are. Steve knows exactly what he's doing.
Well, what I like is the throttle bit, because the ones we had before didn't have that, so it meant that, you know, if you wanted it, you could have it turned up high, but if you wanted that push, like when you're turning, sometimes the pedals aren't in the right place.
Exactly.
You can't really get that go.
Or you don't even need a pedal if you don't. If you don't want to.
Give it a little bit of throttle.
So, and you're actually not turned up all the way. That's the full throttle.
Oh wow!
So you have a little bit more juice.
I don't think you need all of that. I mean, it was quite vicious as it was. You started getting, whoa,
100%.
Yeah, great.
The Annapolis Boat Show is a whirlwind, and we are lucky to be staying with our friends in the somewhat quieter Chesapeake Harbour Marina. SV Ingenuity is Heidi and Franny's new home as they move from a life owning, driving and filming cars to one which is all about boats.
So Franny, I mean, obviously you're a very experienced automotive engineer, and I know that when we first talked to you about this, you were fairly confident that the systems here. How's that panned out in real life?
It's worked out pretty well. The diesel engines, of course, are different than a gasoline engine, so a little bit there, and always an engine throws you something you've never done before. But I have a decent set of tools, and I was able to get through most of the problems. They're different problems, which is interesting. I didn't expect weird fuel issues. Normally that's fairly sorted on a car. But here we could have bad fuel. We could have a diesel bug or something like that. It's a completely different, that's different. I also rebuilt the windlass completely as well. And another thing I found, it was very difficult to find parts for some things. So a matter of finding new sources for parts was a thing for me, and it took a little while, but I think I've got that sorted. And as far as the rest of the systems on the boat go, plumbing and electrical things, I think it's all falling into line. I'm not too worried about any of that at this point.
So you can get on top of it, but what about the amount of work? Because it always struck me, you know, with a boat, there seems to be a disproportionately sort of large amount of things to do. How does that compare to cars, the cars that you've been working on?
I don't think it's that much different, to be honest. There's always something you can tinker with on a car that isn't working quite right, or if you're done with tinkering on the mechanicals, then you can fix the aesthetics.
Yeah.
And the boat's like that as well. I've been able to spend a little bit of time on the aesthetics as well, just a teeny bit, but I don't think I've had all that much to do on this boat, to be honest. It doesn't seem as much as people make it out to be. Oh my gosh, you're gonna be working every single day. Oh, things break all the time. Our trip up, we didn't have anything break. And I think it's because we spent so much time preparing for it.
Yeah.
And we're very careful. But no, I don't think it's been all that bad, to be honest. It's a combination of a car and a house. So you have house issues, leaking and sort of hatch issues and sort of the house bit. And then you've got the car part with the mechanicals and stuff, and so it's just like kind of like normally having a garage full of cars and a house.
Yeah.
So Heidi, you were concerned with seasickness and space. So how's it worked out?
So I do get seasick. I have been using the patch, and it seems to work really well most of the time.
Great.
And even if I do get seasick, it's not that bad. So I think my fears about that have gone down.
Fantastic.
As far as space goes,
you have a big boat.
Yes, we do have a big boat, and I'm gracious to have been able to get a big boat. I found out before, though, that there's just so many items that I was carrying around with me for so many years that I didn't need.
Right.
So it's really nice. It feels kind of uplifting, if that makes sense, to get rid of so many material items. You don't need that many. You really don't.
You really don't. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Heidi and Franny are great hosts, so thank you for putting up with us. So it's the last day of the boat show. It stopped raining, it's sunny, but a little bit windy. And I'm doing all the talking because Steve has lost his voice.
Yeah, I've got very croaky. That's what happens on the last day. Yeah, lots of talking all the way through, but it's been really good fun. We've got some good stuff, found some nice things here, and spent some money, as you always do.
As you always do, and met lots of people. It's been brilliant. I love it. Really good break. Yeah, we are both a little bit croaky now, but it has been an incredible 4 days. Thank goodness it's only 4.
Yeah, there's an event after every day here for the YouTubers, so that's really good. It's been really good fun. My favourite one in Bacon Sows, because you're just walking around drinking and eating in a Chandler's. I mean, like you've died and gone to heaven. It's fantastic.
And it is a great second-hand place. I think more towns should have one.
Yeah,
frankly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there used to be a lot more around, and there doesn't
Yeah.
seem to be now. So yeah, it's great for having things like that. But the boat show itself, I mean, really good this year. Had one rainy day, but the rest of the time, lovely. Really, actually quite hot the first 2 days.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And warm again now. So it's Monday and we're about to leave.
Yeah.
But one thing, predictions. I predict that although we haven't bought any of those inflatable fenders, I don't see how we're not going to have them. In 10 years' time, everyone is going to have an inflatable fender, because what's not to like about them?
Yeah, they're great. I mean, they're just expensive at the moment, but I'm sure, as time goes on, getting them built in bulk, they'll get cheaper and cheaper. So yeah, that's something to look out for. You're right. What's your other predictions?
Well, I really like the hooker. I mean, not the real hooker. You know the hooker where you go diving down hooker, the Blue 3.
Yes.
I think that is going to be fantastic for people like me who are a little bit wary of diving. I'm not a diver. I'm going to do my deep breathing so I can do some free diving. But this looks like a good way for me to be able to see fish and things like that I want to do, and stay down for a little bit of time, but not go for a whole day or something.
Yeah, great for me as well for doing, just for doing stuff on the boat, because I mean, I've got that Smacko unit at the moment, but the thing with that is, when you get 15 minutes with it, which is enough for some jobs, so it's good as an emergency thing. But the problem with it is that sod's law means that the day you need it, it needs recharging, because you do have to go to a dive shop and recharge it all the time. So yeah, we're going to have to think about that. But yeah, this is great because you can just charge it up. It's electric, use it whenever you like, and yeah, it's going to be good. So we're hoping we're going to get one, because they had run out. I mean, lots of things at the show. It's been a good show for that. They run out of pretty much everything, all the stalls at the end. But they're going to try and send one to us to your dad's place in New Jersey, which is where we're going now.
Yeah, exactly. And we enjoyed the Patreon meetups, of course. We saw quite a few of you, so thank you very much for coming to those. Yeah. And also thank you to people who came to us at the YouTube tent. Some people hadn't got a clue who we were.
No, someone came along with a little care package for creators, which was fantastic, because it had honey in it and things like that, and Advil for your throat. So that was fantastic. So yeah, thank you for all those sorts of things. It's been really nice to see everyone there, and it is one of the great things about Annapolis. It's just unique to this place.
Yeah, it is. So thank you very much to our patrons, thank you to our subscribers, and thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.